The Republican nominee is frequently accused by the media of having close ties with Russia, and some outlets even suggest that President Putin is helping Trump with his bid for the White House. Larry King put those accusations to the billionaire.
This bromance between Trump and Putin.
A man running for president, just ask Russia to hack America.
He's an unwitting agent of the Russian Federation.
The media has been unbelievably dishonest. I mean, they'll take a statement that you make, which is perfect, and they'll cut it up and chop it up and shorten it or lengthen it or do something with it, and all of a sudden it doesn't look as good as it did when you actually said it. But there's tremendous dishonesty with the media. Not all of it, obviously, but tremendous dishonesty.
U.S. intelligence and law enforcement agencies reportedly are investigating whether Russia launched a covert operation to disrupt the 2016 election. What do you make of that?
I don't know. I mean, I've been hearing about it. I've been reading about it. I think it's probably unlikely. I think maybe the Democrats are putting that out. Who knows? But I think that it's pretty unlikely. But, you know, who knows? I hope that if they are doing something, I hope that somebody's going to be able to find out so they can end it, because that would not be appropriate at all.
Well, during the interview, Donald Trump was also asked about the hacking of the Democratic National Committee, but said he had no opinion on that. And talking about accusations made by the Democratic Party that Russia is trying to disrupt the U.S. elections, the Republican candidate suggested that it's the Democrats themselves spreading the rumor. Well, aside from possible Russian sympathies, Trump's knowledge of foreign policy has also been questioned, but he said he's merely keeping his cards close to his chest.
I'm tired of watching these people get up, these politicians, and tell the enemy exactly what we're going to do, when we're going to be there, when we're going to leave, like the way we left Iraq. What a disaster that was. And, you know, I don't like talking about it, I'll be honest with you. And I'll meet with generals and the generals, and we'll find out. Look, we've been fighting this war for 15 years. This war's gone on forever, you know, the whole Middle East thing. And we've spent $6 trillion on that war. We've got, and we're in far worse shape than if we never went over there. But once we went in, Larry, we shouldn't have gotten out the way we got out. And the way they got out really caused ISIS.
The Republican candidate also said he's looking forward to meeting Hillary Clinton one-on-one. Trump says he didn't necessarily decide to run for the presidency out of choice, but that he felt an obligation to do so due to a lack of faith in other candidates.
I mean, I wish he did a phenomenal job and we wouldn't have all these problems. I wouldn't be running. I'd be, you know, having dinner with you someplace maybe.
Well, shortly after we premiered Trump's Larry King interview here on RT, Western media exploded with stories merely focusing on where the interview appeared, effectively ignoring the content of the discussion. Twitter's also been abuzz with a similar angle. Some described him denying Russian hacking rumors as unbelievable, especially on RT, while denying many American outlets the chance to interview him. Quite a few also couldn't believe Trump would disparage U.S. foreign policy during the show, while others questioned his patriotism. RT America host and political commentator Ed Schultz explains why he believes Main Street outlets choose to attack Trump.
I believe that Donald Trump has fixed a lot of things in the way he's presenting himself. I think that the way he speaks and the culture he comes from is being hard to interpret by the mainstream media. You have a businessman who has done a lot of things, who has made a lot of changes. His culture has changed. I'm going to do what I got to do to get the job done. That's where he is. And then you've got the mainstream media over here taking every word literally, all the way to the dictionary. But you said this, and you said this yesterday, and there's a conflict of understanding here. And I think that Trump is one of these guys that looks at the big picture, and I think his supporters have figured that out. He will do something about illegal immigration. He is committed to that. Now, as a journalist, that's what I accept. The mainstream media, they have a hard time understanding what Donald Trump's talking about, and I don't know why. I think the American people understand what he's saying.
Well, you can watch Larry King's full and frank interview with Donald Trump later here on RT. The times are on your screen now. Or indeed, you can watch it anytime at our website, rt.com. Moving on.